So here's the final, and to top it off, this is an update.
Update. Sorry for any typos or misspelt words. I'm not quite sure if this is the proper way to do an update, but hopefully everyone can see it. First, I just want to address a few comments. You can skip this part if you don't care. I know I had a stillborn. The only reason I say miscarriage is because that is what my obstetrician told me was happening. Second off, some people have been saying this story is fake because of the way I described the argument. Falling on my knees, pure betrayal. Yes, I figured I spelt it wrong. I can assure you it's not. I cannot make anyone believe me, but this is my life, so you can either think it's fake or not. Here's the update everyone's been asking for. Buckle up. It's a long one. After posting my story on Reddit, I sat on my bed, wiping my tears and telling myself I will not take this disrespect. I walked downstairs, shutting my nursery door on the way. I was greeted with everyone comforting my sister-in-law. I kindly asked everyone besides my sister-in-law and husband to respectfully get the out of my house. After all of the dirty looks and shaming, it was just my husband, sister-in-law, and myself. They sat themselves on the couch, not saying anything. I sat with them. The silence felt like forever. None of us had anything to say. I knew I'd have to start the conversation. I looked at my husband and said, "Did you decide?" He looked at me just staring. I asked again in a firm tone this time. He ended up mumbling some sort of insult and I couldn't really make out what he said. Something with bitchy. I stood up and told them both to get out. Then they wanted to talk, telling me that this is all a misunderstanding. They're sorry, blah, blah, blah. I grabbed a backpack from my shoe closet and told them to pack their shit. My sister-in-law told me I couldn't just make her leave and I was a horrible person. I laughed in her face and told her this is my house and I can do whatever I want. My husband stood next to me and told her it was only for a little while. I turned to him and said, "Oh, you too, get out." He got all mad and told me we were a married couple and that this isn't how marriage works. Awfully hypocritical of him, isn't it? I told him, no, it's not. Marriage is where two people support each other and not treat their wife like shit. They both ended up leaving after many insults towards me. Oh, but wait, it's not over. This morning I was getting ready for a Zoom meeting with a few coworkers when my husband showed up. I let him in, telling him to get whatever he needed and to go because I had to work. He started apologizing, telling me he wants to make it right. I told him I just need time away from him. Then he threw in my face, "Well, it's not my fault. You lost our children. Maybe this would have never happened. My sister was right. You are selfish." Dude, I would like to meet this man, and I would like to have a conversation with him. I have never, ever made my husband feel like he cannot grieve with me over this. Never made him feel less than because of his pain. I turned around and slapped him in the face. I never condone violence, and I'm very upset I would ever do that to another human, but I just couldn't deal with this. He took a step back and then threw all of my makeup on the floor, which I get, but then he started breaking all of my decor in my bathroom. I yelled at him to stop and that I was sorry, but he just kept going, even going as far as punching a hole in my bathroom wall. It was like I was seeing all of his bottled up emotions from our children's death come out, but he went too far when he tried to grab me, yelling in my face. I kicked him off and told him to get the out. He walked out of the bathroom and I watched him break a few more items as he left. The second he left, I had a panic attack, looking at the mess he made, to even just seeing how much he hid his pain. I called my mother and told her everything that has been happening. I don't talk to my family much due to some past trauma with them. She told me she was on her way. The second she got there, I just broke down and she held me. Then she stood up and started taking pictures of everything he broke. I asked her what she was doing and she turned to me and said, "We're suing this POS." I honestly didn't even argue. I was so hurt by everything my husband did to me. My mom packed up my computer and I grabbed a few outfits. My mom and I drove to a hotel and she insisted on staying with me. While I finished up work, my mom called a locksmith and my attorney. I will be divorcing him as well. So there it is. The update everyone has been waiting for. I feel guilty for just giving up on my husband and 8 years of our marriage, but it's time for a divorce. I can't live like this, and neither can my husband. I wish I could say we moved on, forgave each other, and that I got to see my sister-in-law have her baby, but that's not reality. If anything else happens, I will let you all know. Thank you guys for the support and the help with this situation.
Wow.
Okay. I'm going to give you my reason why I downed this as the worst person of the year. It's a small thing, and Thea's hit on it. The husband is grieving in the most awful, this is the second hour, most awful, hideous fucking way he can grieve.
Mm-hmm.
And he already has put in his head wrongfully it's all the wife's fault. So from that point on, any issue, any subject that comes up is his wife's fault. He's not mourning and he needs help.
Yeah.
However, he's not going to get it. Once you have people who figure they can push the issue of what happens to somebody else, they figure it's nothing wrong with them. I didn't come to this conclusion until he did start tearing up the damn room. That is a violent reaction to what happened. Now, I done got that out of the way because that's my reasoning for saying he's not the worst person of the year, because until somebody can explain to me that the nurse have a diagnosis other than psychopath, I can't see anybody saying this guy is worse. I will put all of that to the side now. Now, having said that, I'm with Dusty on this. I want to hold a conversation with him too. I'm going to explain to him in the nicest way I possibly can. Unless you could come to me and tell me that you fucking your sister and that's your child, you need to stand by your wife. Period. Because you both have lost somebody, not just you selfish son of a bitch. You literally only thought of your grief. Only. There is not a woman on the planet who wants to carry a child and have a miscarriage with it. No woman wants that. And you as a man will never, ever understand that. You can grieve not having a child. You will never know the heart-wrenching feeling of carrying a stillbirth. But I think I'm speaking to a brick wall anyway. To the sister, you just an evil fucking person. I'm sorry, that's the best way I can even tell you about that. You really honestly, and I truly feel like you knew once you had your brother wrapped around your little finger, you could pretty much get away with any damn thing. To your little party favors that you left on the table, you didn't give a fuck. Till this woman who's still getting over a miscarriage needs to clean up behind your grown ass butt. To having a baby shower in the house. I ain't asking shit for permission, which, by the way, you may or may not ask for permission, but you probably asked your brother for permission. I honestly is probably under the belief that you probably just told your brother, I'm having a baby shower here. And then you took over the nursery that you had absolutely nothing to do with. Truly, I get what everybody on this panel said. I really do. Honestly, I really do. I'm just telling you what my first thought was. My first thought really would have been if people would have started walking in the nursery and I'm seeing everybody celebrating, I'm honestly telling everybody to get the fuck out. Now. And that includes the sister and the husband. Get the fuck out of my house. Now. There is not going to be a choice in the matter. There's not going to. I'm at the point where pick me or pick her is off the table. Because I'm not choosing either one of you. Because I'm looking right now at my husband has already made that choice. He's literally already made a choice of what is going to happen. So I don't want you. Because even if you was to come out and say, I pick you, I don't trust you anymore. I don't. Everybody needs to get the fuck out of my house now. Let's move a little forward now. Diaz has this thing about escalation. He's preached that to me thousands of times on this show. So yeah, I can't condone the slapping of the face. I understand the emotion behind it. I understand that's some shit that builds up. And not one person that watched this show or on this panel right now has never had some build up frustration to the point that you want to go slap the shit out of somebody. But you just still don't do it. But you really want to. And she did it. That pushed his mental capacity that was already at zero anyway over the top. And he busted out the way he literally understands, and that's to trash the damn place. That's the punch. That's the tear down shit. Kudos to the mom. I don't know where the hell she came from all of a sudden. I don't know what the issue that they had, but kudos to the mom to push that all to the side and come to the rescue and to help out the best way she knew how. Kudos to her for even literally saying, you know what? Nah, we ain't even finna let this go. We finna sue. So kudos to the mom. Again, you never explained what the issue you had with the family, but apparently it was just not to the point where the mom was just gonna, we done read a whole bunch of stories of, ooh, I told you so. I told you he was a bad person, blah, blah, blah. She pushed that all to the side. This is my baby, and she needs me. Here I am. We're gonna handle this together. So kudos to you. Where this goes from here, I don't know. Divorce, I'm pretty sure that's the divorce that she said so. Yeah. But that's all to say that I still don't think this is the worst person. This is a good damn second. Believe me, this is a very good second place. I can give a reasoning for all of this that happened on just this story. Terrible. I don't want to sit there and say this is the reason why all of this happened because of grief. It still was a fucking terrible outcome. The nurse ain't got no damn excuse. Unless I see a diagnosis, unless there's an update or something like that. She was just out there.
She was evil.
She was just flat out damn evil.